Alright guys, girls and whatnot, I'm back again for a video. Yeah, I'll do a quick update on what's been happening because I haven't done it in a while, but not a lot. I've been watching a lot of Carnivale. Like I've almost stopped playing video games altogether, just so I can finish Carnivale because I was playing video games and all I wanted to do was watch Carnivale. So I didn't actually play much. I'm still going to return to Witcher 2 after Carnivale and finish that off, but that's like kind of beside the point. Like I'm looking at the video today is in fact to do a video game, so don't worry, I'm not going to turn into like some movie focused or TV focused channel. I wouldn't mind covering some of that, but I'm always going to cover video games. But yeah, no, this video is just an idea of what can be done with Sleeping Dogs 2. Honestly, I think it's going to happen. I really do. I mean, it did well. It had quite a strong fan base, like very loyal fan base to the game. Not just like, people play that game and they hold it as one of the best games they've played from what I've seen. But yeah, no, the guys United Front Gaming, they were working on a MMO called Triad Wars, which was set in the Sleeping Dogs universe, and for some reason, I can't remember what, it's now shut down, the project. And so I figured, I'm not sure if United Front are as well, but I mean, it'd be silly because they make good games. It's just sometimes the marketing stuff's up or it just doesn't sell well. So that's what I think happened with Triad Wars. I never played it though. I was waiting for like the proper version. I was in no rush to play it. So yeah, getting back to the point of this video, I'm looking at Sleeping Dogs 2, and whilst like Hong Kong is a wonderful place, I've never been there, but it's a wonderful location and triads are amazing. I'm starting to wonder, I wanted, like, when I first played Sleeping Dogs, I wanted, more triad kind of stories with the Sleeping Dog franchise, but just kind of recently I figured Japan would be a lot more interesting with Yakuza. I mean, it's a very different situation to the Hong Kong triads. Like, yeah. So also, to be honest, like from what I've read about it, I don't think like triads are that strong anymore. Whilst I think Yakuza they might be less in numbers. I'm not sure. But they seem pretty powerful, because I've been over to Japan and I've been told a lot of like businesses you see down the street that there's some sort of connection with Yakuza. But yeah, no, I'm just going to go through a list of stuff that can be done with this. The first thing that I think would be cool is, if you notice in Sleeping Dogs, the city is always changing, it's always evolving. And I think that was an awesome part of the game, like a really clever part. And I was thinking the same could be done with Japan, of course. However, I think just because like Japan and like Tokyo, Osaka, there's a couple other cities, I'm trying to remember the other one, but like they have changed dramatically. I'm not sure about Hong Kong, but they've changed dramatically in the past 30 years or even 40. So it'd be cool to have like the story take place over a couple of decades, to be honest, and seeing the city change that way. So it was originally quite simple, and then they've got these huge kind of, not really billboards, but these billboards, LED billboards if you call it that, electronic billboards and lights everywhere. And at the start of the game, you might see people walking down the street puffing a cigarette, and then like later on in the game, there's like you only see them in like a smoking section, because in Japan you can only smoke in certain areas. And in doing that couple of decades thing, we get to see like different problems that arose for the Yakuza. It's not just like one issue. Like some issues in the history, they come and go. An example would be the Bosazuki. I'm not sure. I can't pronounce it. But they're just basically the Japanese kind of motorcycle gangs that are like, I've watched a documentary on Vice that you should watch. This actually kind of sparked this whole idea, but it's a very unique culture. Like it's not like Hell's Angels, but it's just the same sort of thing. You know, a bunch of people riding motorbikes in packs and causing trouble, I guess. So at some stage of the game, I would say more to this near the start, you could see a lot to do with the Bosazoku, and eventually, however, because I think they're dying today, they almost are just completely irrelevant by the end of the game. You can also look at another section of the story which is unique, and that's like the clash between the Koreans and Chinese. Chinese clashing with the Japanese. I'm not sure if that migrant communities have been around for ages, but if it was between the 80s and today, it'd be cool to have when like there was an influx of them coming into Japan. It'd be cool to cover that, and later on in the game, you know, you deal with these like just simple Korean Chinese migrants, you know, being, you know, just unorganized and violent when Japanese go into their neighborhoods. But towards the end of the game, you see relatives from those original migrants, so like grandsons or whatnot, and they're getting involved in their own Yakuza gangs, because I'm pretty sure there's like Korean and Chinese Yakuza gangs, or at least members of some Yakuza gangs are Korean and Chinese. So that'd be a kind of cool thing, you know, seeing an actual kind of family tree almost. So yeah, that's kind of the pros of doing decade-long having a game that's over a couple of decades, because you get to see unique situations such as the migrants and the Bosazuku, but you also get to see what happens to them over time, along with other stuff that pops up and becomes the like main focus. For example, at one stage of the game, it'd be good to look at like the clashes between, I'm not sure if it is true, but like kind of the clashes of tradition amongst the Yakuza. So say around the 2000s, there could be a bunch of missions and a part of the story where it's all about, you know, these young Yakuzas kind of not following tradition, and the kind of conflict with that amongst the elderly and just stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a good section of the story, and it's probably true to some extent. I think that, like, I love watching tattoo documentaries, and I think the modern ones, they don't have these huge fissures or whatever on their skin. It's all just small writing and American, so it'd be good to have a section of the game just based on that. And so the other thing that would be interesting is the period where Yakuzas become legit. So they've just become so powerful in Japan that a lot of the money they earn is through legitimate businesses. And this could be an interesting twist to the story. Say you can buy fronts throughout the game. It'd be cool if you were given the situation to either follow the Yakuzas that want to go legit, or follow the Yakuzas that want to stay as Yakuzas. And if you follow the Yakuzas that want to go legit, you put money towards legitimate businesses such as pachinko, which is this huge gambling thing in Japan, or just TV channels. And if you choose to not go legit, of course, you're dealing with like a Japanese crack house equivalent. I'm not sure if they exist anywhere, or like massage parlors, which do that other stuff. And I think that'd be kind of a cool thing, because if you look at the first Sleeping Dogs, it was all about whether you're a cop or a Yakuza, a triad. This could be whether you're legit or illegit or illegal. And I also think, from the videos that I saw of Triad Wars, I'm pretty sure a big part of it is building your own base, and I think that should be carried on. I mean, it's a lot of those games, it's satisfying, like in Fallout 4, from what I've heard, of building your own little base, and it attracts certain minds, and I'm one of them for sure, so I'm going to put that in. And yeah, there's only just one other random thing that I thought would be cool, and that's looking at missions that have United States military bases somehow involved, because I think, like, when I was visiting Japan, I got the impression that, there's a lot of, like, US families that are part of the army that reside in Japan. And, you could look at some of the veterans that have had a shell shock and stuff, and kind of living a really rough lifestyle, and just having a character like that in the game would be just something fresh and something unique. Just like an odd guy that's not really involved with the triads. Yakuza, sorry. And yeah, I've pretty much summed up a lot of my ideas. I might not be as loud as I usually am, only because it's late at night. But anyway, that all being said, enjoy.